So thank you so much for joining us. Who, if anyone here does not know me, but I'm Ilona Trokel, and part of this beautiful Women's Soul Center, and we welcome you. And just want to say that we're very grateful for you to join us. And tonight isn't about just fixing ourselves or becoming someone new. Tonight is about remembering who we already are and giving our mind, our body, and soul the space that it deserves. So many of us move through life on autopilot, holding, pushing, managing. Tonight is an invitation to just pause, to soften, and to reconnect with clarity, with strength, and with peace. We've intentionally created this evening to be gentle, to be grounding, and deeply supportive. And you're in very, very good hands with the amazing panel that we have. So to begin the evening, I would like to introduce you to the mind portion, which Liz, Miriam, Kashani will lead. We begin with the mind because how we think shapes how we feel and how we relate. Liz, Miriam, Kashani is an inner healing, self-connection, relationship-based coach who works at the intersection of mind, body, and soul. Her work helps women heal from the inside out so their outer lives can finally align. Liz specializes in IFS, inner child healing, breath work, and guides women through dating, marriage, intimacy, and emotional patterns with deep compassion, clarity, and wisdom. What makes Liz's work so powerful is that she doesn't try to fix people. She creates a space with complex emotional work feels safe, grounded, and empowering. People don't leave her sessions feeling corrected. They leave feeling seen, strengthened, and more connected to who they truly are. So welcome, Liz, Miriam.
Wow. Thank you for that introduction.
First of all, wow, we got a full room. This is amazing. Thank you for everyone for coming out. Close to Passover, there's a lot going on with everybody, so good for you guys. I often like to use the parable of sharpening your axe, right? When we imagine someone that goes into the forest and needs to cut down trees, and he has an axe, and he keeps cutting and he keeps cutting, and his axe is very dull. And someone comes up to him and says, listen, sharpen your axe. You're going to be able to cut down these trees a lot easier. And he says, I don't have time. I don't have time. And he doesn't take the time to sharpen that axe. Guess what? It's going to take him a lot longer to cut down all those trees. So what you guys are doing here tonight is exactly that. You are sharpening your axe so that the work that you need to do going forward will be done with a lot more ease. Preparing for Passover, dealing with your children, your spouses, your lives. We all have stuff. When your axe is sharp, you're able to handle all of that a lot easier. So I want to start with a truth that may feel simple, but has the power to change your life. Hashem sends certain moments only when your soul is ready to receive them. You didn't walk into this room by accident. You're not hearing these words by coincidence. Something inside of you has been whispering, there has to be more, right? I'm ready for more. Every one of us has moments where we feel stuck, we feel confused, we feel afraid, overwhelmed, and we think we're like waiting for life to change. But the deepest secret is this: life is actually waiting for us to change, not the other way around. Waiting for us to be the person who can receive the blessings that we've been praying for. When you're ready, this shift will begin. One of the biggest lies that we internalize is that Hashem is somewhere far away from us. That he's somewhere out there and he's just watching us struggle and hoping that we're going to figure it out. But no, that's not true. Judaism teaches us something entirely different. The Shekhinah, Hashem's divine presence, is living inside of every single one of us. Your soul, your neshama, is a literal part of Hashem's divine light. Which means what? It means that you're not disconnected, you are not lacking, you are not empty, broken, or behind. You are carrying inside of you the same divine intelligence that keeps your heart beating, your lungs breathing, the sun rising, and the world turning. You are literally wired for greatness. But most of us forget who we are. And when we forget, we feel small. When the truth is, we are all carrying infinite potential. Life becomes difficult when we identify ourselves with the physical world, the bills, the stress, the jobs, the relationships, the expectations that we all have, right? We forget the spiritual reality that's shaping all of it. Everything begins in the spiritual realm. As Alana Leah said, we are not physical beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human or physical experience, right? So everything in the physical world starts with something internal. A thought, a belief, a pattern, a fear, a dream. It all starts from within. A story that we tell ourselves. When we try to fix ourselves and our lives externally without transforming our inner world, do you know what happens? We become exhausted. That's what happens. Because the root is never outside. The root is always inside. Your life is a mirror. It reflects your beliefs, not your potential. It reflects your focus, not your worth. If you constantly feel not enough, you will live a life of scarcity. If you secretly believe that relationships aren't safe, then you're going to meet people that will confirm that belief. If you believe that abundance only belongs to others, then you will unconsciously block the opportunities that actually belong to you. This is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is the spiritual architecture of reality. The Baal Shem Tov taught us that a person is where their thoughts are, meaning that your thoughts and your inner state precede what happens to you, precede your experiences. How cool is that, right? But so that means if you actually want your life to change, to shift, you don't start with your circumstances, you start from your consciousness. Now comes the big question, right? If focus and belief are so powerful, why does change sometimes take so long? Why can we want something so deeply and still not see any movement? So here's the answer. Your conscious desire must match your subconscious beliefs. If you consciously want abundance, but subconsciously feel unworthy, your subconscious wins. I see this all the time with the work that I do with women. A woman will tell me, I really want to be in a relationship so badly, but underneath, she's carrying fear, self-doubt, or the belief that she's not enough. And she doesn't even realize it. And once we gently uncover this, right, everything starts to shift. If you consciously want love, but subconsciously fear being hurt, your subconscious will win. If you consciously want success, but subconsciously feel small, your subconscious will win. Hashem will never send you something that your inner world isn't ready to receive. That's not punishment. That's actually divine protection. There's a sacred spiritual window, right? The moment before you fall asleep. In Judaism, we say the Shema before we go to bed. Why? Because this is the time when your soul ascends and your subconscious is most open. Whatever emotion you feel before you fall asleep becomes the code that your subconscious uses to shape your tomorrow. If you fall asleep anxious, you plant the seed of anxiety. If you fall asleep grateful, you plant the seed of blessing. If you fall asleep imagining your life aligned, abundant, peaceful, connected, you direct your inner world towards that reality. So this is where our real spiritual work happens. Not in effort, not in struggle, but in conscious inner alignment. So many times we think that something is wrong when life gets difficult. But if we just shift our perspective to challenges are not punishments, but rather challenges are invitations. It's an invitation to grow, an invitation to rise, to expand, to step into the next version of ourselves. Every challenge you've ever faced has shaped you. Think about it. Really think about it. Every challenge that any of us have ever faced have really shaped us. It carved depth into us, right? It built compassion. It built resilience. Hashem doesn't ask us to be perfect. He asks us to be becoming, right? So every day, our job is simply to be a little bit more aligned with our authentic selves. There is a spiritual law. If you want something, you must become the vessel that can hold it. If you want love, become loving. If you want abundance, become generous. If you want respect, become self-respecting. If you want healing, become compassionate. This is not fake it till you make it. This is aligning your frequency with your blessings. So there's a moment in every spiritual journey that feels like breaking, right? You feel lost. You feel confused. You don't know what to do anymore. You don't know where you're going. Guess what? This is a cocoon. The caterpillar dissolves before it becomes a butterfly. True? Right? It's all identity is actually falling apart. It's not dying. What is it doing? It's transforming, right? And this is exactly what we go through. So if life feels messy, uncertain, overwhelming, you're not failing, you are becoming. Most people live their lives in a state of no. We say no so convincingly, except, of course, when it comes to dessert, then it's all like, yes, let's bring it on, right? Well, we can all use some chocolate. But yeah, no, I'm not ready. No, I'm not capable. No, that's not for me. No, I can't handle that. I hear that one a lot, right? Every no closes a spiritual door, but yes opens up worlds. At your core, beneath all your fear, all the noise, all the conditioning, you are love, you are light, you are wisdom, you are truth, and you are a spark of Hashem. You don't have to become enough. You already are enough. Your work is not self-improvement. Your work is self-remembrance and self-alignment. So tonight, I want to leave you with one simple life-changing truth. Before we close, I want you to take a second and ask yourself honestly, where in my life am I ready to stop staying the same? Where am I ready to shift my patterns? Hashem already knows that you're ready. Now it's time for you to know it too. And if you're sitting here feeling something in your heart, that pull, that discomfort, that quiet knowing, don't ignore it. That's not random. That's your neshama asking for truth, asking for growth. For those of you who know this, that this is your next step, you don't have to figure it out alone. This is actually the work that I do. I help women reconnect to themselves, heal what's underneath, and step into who they are meant to be. And I would be honored to guide you through it. My contact information is on the flyers. Hashem already knows that you're ready. Now it's time for you to know it too. Say yes, step in, trust the process, and with Hashem, watch how your world will transform. Thank you for sharing tonight with me.
Amazing. Thank you